Introduction. Zeppelin raids on Britain were a series of aerial attacks carried out by German airships during World War I. Zeppelins. Zeppelins were large, rigid airships filled with hydrogen, used for reconnaissance and bombing missions. Early raids. The first Zeppelin raid on Britain occurred on January 19, 1915, over the Norfolk coast. Terror weapons. Zeppelins were seen as terrifying weapons because they could fly at high altitudes, beyond the range of British aircraft. Bombing campaign. The raids aimed to disrupt British industry, infrastructure, and civilian morale. Zeppelin types. There were various types of Zeppelins, including the L-class and P-class, used for bombing raids. Zeppelin crews. Zeppelin crews faced extreme dangers from anti-aircraft fire and British fighter planes. Ineffectiveness. Zeppelins were inaccurate in their bombing runs, and only a small percentage of bombs hit intended targets. Casualties. Despite their inaccuracy, Zeppelin raids caused civilian casualties and damage to property. Early vulnerabilities. Zeppelins had no effective defense against British aircraft or anti-aircraft fire. Strategic targets. Major cities like London, Hull, and Birmingham were targeted in Zeppelin raids. Evolution of tactics. As British defenses improved, Zeppelin tactics evolved to fly at higher altitudes to avoid interception. Shift to Gotha bombers. The shift to Gotha bombers was partly due to the increased vulnerability of Zeppelins. Raid patterns. Raids often occurred at night, which made Zeppelins harder to spot and intercept. Countermeasures. Britain introduced blackout regulations, air raid warnings, and anti-aircraft guns to counter Zeppelin raids. Development of fighter aircraft. Zeppelin raids spurred the development of British fighter aircraft like the Sopwith Camel. First successful intercept. Lieutenant William Leaf Robinson made history by shooting down the first Zeppelin over London in 1916. Anti-Zeppelin campaign. British defenses began to shift from passive measures to more aggressive counter-Zeppelin campaigns. German Zeppelin losses. By 1917, a significant number of Zeppelins were lost to British defenses. End of Zeppelin raids. Zeppelin raids on Britain ceased in 1917 due to increasing losses and the development of effective countermeasures. Legacy. Zeppelin raids had a lasting impact on British wartime strategies and civilian defense. Cultural impact. Zeppelin raids are depicted in literature, film, and art, such as H.G. Wells' The War in the Air. Museums and memorials. Zeppelin raids are commemorated in museums and memorials in affected cities. Modern air defense. The challenges faced during Zeppelin raids influenced modern air defense strategies. Conclusion. Zeppelin raids on Britain were a significant chapter in the history of aerial warfare and the civilian experience of World War I.